Hi everyone, it's Jaclyn with Skin Perfect Spas and Skin Perfect Academy. And today I wanted to share with you some skin knowledge, something that you may struggle with yourself when you look at your skin. And it's known as hyperpigmentation. So let's break the word down because you may not even understand what it means. So hyper means too much of or above normal. And pigmentation is our skin's pigment that is made from a melanocyte. So when you have hyperpigmentation, you have basically just too much pigmentation in an area, and it can cause unsightly things such as sunspots or age spots or even freckles. And those are fine, but once they grow in diameter, you get too much of them, it starts to get the skin to look blotchy, uneven, and I know all of us strive for that beautiful, radiant complexion. So I want to talk to you about some of the causes for hyperpigmentation so you can think through your life and the lifestyle habits that you have and figure out what is causing your hyperpigmentation. So the first one is sun. Now I know we all love the feel of the sun and we love to lay in it, feel the sun beating down on our skin and our body. I know when many of you go on vacation, you lie to yourself and you say that, okay, I'll put on sunscreen in maybe 10-15 minutes. I just want to feel it on my body. I totally get it, and I know you're trying to get your dose of vitamin D. However, what you're incurring from laying out in the sun without sunscreen is UVA and UVB rays. UVA is age rays and UVB is burn rays. They're both very damaging to your skin cells. And they can make your skin cells dysfunctional over a period of time, and they can cause premature aging. So I strongly recommend that if you want to work on hyperpigmentation, you must start working on wearing sunscreen on a regular basis every single day. So find sunscreen formulas you like to put on. I love the ones that are tinted because they give my skin some color. So consider maybe the texture or just the SPF that you also want to get, and find that sunscreen you're willing to wear every single day. Now the other cause of pigmentation or hyperpigmentation is inflammation. Now inflammation can be caused from a number of things, such as a burn. I got a burn the other day taking something out of the oven, and now I know my skin produced pigment to protect, which is exactly what it does when it's UV exposed or it's exposed from a different stimulus such as like heat. And I'm going to get pigmentation is already there, but also once that redness fades, I'm gonna have some hyperpigmentation that I'm gonna have to work on lightening. So you'll definitely see that in burn marks. And then there's acne marks. Acne marks are considered caused from inflammation because of the irritation of the pore or the blockage. And the acne sometimes will have that like redness around it, and then when the lesion clears up, there's sometimes a little acne mark. And those can be so frustrating for people who have worked so hard on clearing their acne. And the acne can be frustrating, but then the marks afterwards are just as frustrating. So that's considered post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. And then finally we have hormones. Hormones are, they can be sometimes the devil for many of us, because if our hormones are out of balance or out of whack, guess what? Our skin can produce pigment because of these hormones. So for example, I'm on progesterone for my hormone imbalance, and that progesterone is causing my skin to make too much pigmentation, which is creating something called melasma on my skin, which is basically like this pigment mapping. And the pigment mapping is very frustrating because it makes my skin tone look even more uneven, and it's very hard to cover with makeup. Now, some people get it from pregnancy. Pregnancy masks are very frustrating as well because I've seen clients get it right across their upper lip, and it makes it look like they have a mustache. And although it's just pigmentation, it creates a shadowing or a grayness to your complexion. So melasma is also very difficult to treat because internally is the cause for that hyperpigmentation. So the internal factors, such as me not using progesterone to balance my hormones, is not an option for me. So the best I can do is manage my melasma. Now, when you're managing your hyperpigmentation or you're wanting to improve it, there is different steps you can take in your home care, and there's also treatments that you can get from an esthetician, derm, plastic surgeon. There's many different things that you can do to tackle it, but you've got to make sure you understand the root cause of the hyperpigmentation so you can make lifestyle changes to make sure that you're helping prevent it. So I want to go through some home care products that work on the skin and work on pigmentation. Now notice that when you see the skin, cross-section of the skin, it's a complicated organ. I mean, when you look at this, it's like, okay, where do I start? Well, when you're learning about skin, the most important thing to think about is what is going to treat the exact ailment of my skin. So whether it's acne or if it's aging, well, it's hyperpigmentation, and in order to treat hyperpigmentation, you have to regulate the melanosome that's producing the pigment. So for example, when your skin is irritated or it needs protection, your melanin goes into hyperdrive and it produces more, and it goes to the top and it's creating the shield and protecting the skin. So in order to treat it, we have to get the pigment to not produce like that, which is the melanocyte to not overproduce. So there are products that have melanocyte inhibitors that are extremely important because they're telling the melanosome just to calm down, not make as much pigment, everything is okay. So that is really effective in treating pigment, because if we're going to try to lighten and brighten the existing sunspots and we're going to try to get rid of surface pigmentation, we can't have a backlog of more pigmentation being produced and then we never get anywhere. So we're going to dive into the ingredients of these products, because ingredients are so important when it comes to treating hyperpigmentation. So let's start with the first one. We have the RePeel peel pads. Okay, so these peel pads are designed for many clients in their 20s, 30s, and maybe early 40s because of what we see within their skin. So they have alpha hydroxy acids in them. Alpha hydroxy acids such as lactic acid and mandelic acid is fantastic because it's going to dissolve pigmentation that's pushed to the top, and then also dissolve dead skin cell buildup. So it's doing it without irritating the skin, and it's great for sensitive skin. So this is really effective to treating hyperpigmentation, because obviously if we're trying to get it to move to the top, we don't want to visibly see it anymore. Then we have licorice root and chamomile. These are ingredients that are telling the melanocyte to not produce as much pigment anymore. So it's basically blocking the enzyme that is told to tell the skin cell to produce more. So it's an enzymatic reaction, which is called tyrosinase inhibitor. So that's what we're trying to inhibit, is that pigment from making more pigment. So when you're using ingredients, licorice root is extremely effective because it's the tyrosinase inhibitor, and the chamomile is actually a flavonoid that's from a botanical that is telling the skin to like calm down as well. So this product is one of my favorites. So I definitely recommend this. It's not an expensive product. It's very affordable, and you must use it every day. I love combining it with retinoids at night. Retinoids are going to help the cell differentiation, which basically means that retinol helps the cells migrate to the top in a more efficient way. And then also with using those lightening products, it's going to help the skin cells come up and off, as well as the hyperpigmentation. So definitely using it in the evening and combining it with retinol. You can also use it in the morning and then combine it with another antioxidant such as vitamin C. So now we have our next product. It's called Skin Tone Enhancement Therapy Pads. Now notice these are both pads, because I just love pads when it comes to treating the skin with pigment lightening ingredients. I think they're very easy to use, and you can put them under existing serums in your regimen or under moisturizers. So this product has kojic acid in it. Kojic acid is a really interesting ingredient. It is made from the bacteria during the rice fermentation process when they are making sake. So it's very popular in Asian culture because it's known as a skin whitening agent. So you can tell people you're using sake on your face. No, in all seriousness, kojic acid is one of the most tried and true ingredients with skin whitening and lightening. So then we have the ingredient azelaic acid, and azelaic acid is also successful in fading post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So those stubborn spots that you get after either breakouts or a burn, this is going to help calm the inflammation down and lighten the existing pigment that is there. Then we have ascorbic acid, which I mentioned earlier, which is a water-based, water-soluble form of vitamin C. Vitamin C is an antioxidant, and you need to have antioxidants when you're trying to fight free radical damage, you're trying to brighten and lighten up the skin. And then also it has green tea, and green tea is also known as an anti-inflammatory. And last but not least, this product has arbutin. Arbutin is a tyrosinase inhibitor, so it's preventing the overproduction of melanin, again, like we talked about earlier. And it's also found in pomegranate and bearberry. So you're gonna typically see, when you see ingredients listed on the back, sometimes they're gonna be listed by the exact kojic acid is what it's formed, or it's gonna be from the source, which is like a bearberry extract. So you're gonna see it in different forms when you read the back of the products. So then we have an area that a lot of people ignore, and you should never ignore these areas. They are neck and chest, arms, and back of hands. So when clients start to treat their face, everything starts to improve, and then they start noticing this area. Obviously, this area is exposed to the elements a lot of the times, depending on what climate you live in. So we recommend a product that's called Age Defy 12 Hand and Arm Cream. Now the 12 comes from 12 different ingredients that are going to work on pigmentation, texture. It's also going to work on balancing the hydration of the skin. So one of the main ingredients in this product is known as hydroquinone. And hydroquinone is a skin bleaching agent that was the gold standard. And there's different percentages of hydroquinone in many products. Like a prescription product's gonna have 4% or higher. More of the over-the-counter product or something found in a spa is going to be 2%. So what's great about hydroquinone is it can give the immediate gratification of skin lightening and brightening because it's that bleaching agent. And also this product has other ingredients like tyrosinase inhibitors in it, and then also those skin lightening, whitening agents such as kojic acid and licorice root and all of the wonderful things that we need in order to lighten the hyperpigmentation. So I like those neck and chest and body products to be in a lotion because I think that's really easy for clients to use when they get out of the shower, or they can put on at night before bed. And then of course, I like the pads in a skincare regimen for the face because it's easy to put that pad right under the serum or moisturizer like I talked about earlier. So when you're using these home care products, it's important that you are consistent because consistency is what's gonna get results. You did not get that hyperpigmentation overnight, so you have to work on it daily. I know many of us don't like to do skincare regimens, but I'm telling you, when you see the results, it makes you want to keep going, just like with working out. So you want to keep it up every single day and be consistent with those lifestyle changes. That's going to help prevent future hyperpigmentation. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned something about your skin, and I hope I gave some great tips, tricks, ingredients for you to look for when shopping for skincare products. At Skin Perfect, we love to be able to educate you and help you through the process of having great skin. So I can't wait to see you next time. To your health and to having your best skin, take care.